Boycott Blizzard is a phrase that over the past few months we've heard a lot in the gaming industry because all of the allegations being thrown around about the company and the fact that players of their games are sick and tired of developers not listening to what fans really want from them. Blizzard has some amazing franchises, but they've thrown away so much of the love people have for them. But things are looking even worse for Blizzard because they've had a drop of over 60 million monthly active users in only the past year. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start off with this GameSpot article that says Activision Blizzard loses 60 million monthly active users in the past year. The company had 372 million monthly active users as of March 31st, down from 435 million last year. So Activision Blizzard has released its latest quarterly financial report, and the numbers were not good for the publisher, with revenue, player numbers, and Call of Duty unit sales all coming in lower than before. Now, for the quarter ending March 31st, Activision Blizzard had revenue of $1.77 billion compared to $2.28 billion during the same period last year. Net bookings, meanwhile, amounted to $1.48 billion, down from $2.07 billion last year. In-game bookings came in at $1.01 billion, a decrease from $1.34 billion. In terms of player numbers, though, Activision Blizzard's overall monthly active users amounted to 372 million for the quarter. This is down from 435 million during the same period last year. That is a drop of about 63 million players in a year. And obviously, we see Activision have franchises like Call of Duty where every year they're releasing a new game and those players do drop off, and then eventually the next year those players usually come back to buy new titles. But they have games like Warzone, they have titles like World of Warcraft. These are titles where they do not want players to drop off, and having 63 million players in a year drop off is a massive amount. I understand that players come and go, but these numbers are giant. Yes, ultimately, they still have 372 million active monthly users. That is still a giant amount. I'm not sitting here saying that they've lost 90% of their players, right? But having 63 million drop off in a year is a large number, even for a company that's got 500 million nearly that they reached at one point. And a big part of that, I do genuinely believe, is all of the controversy that has surrounded their company over the past year. All of the accusations that have come out about them, all of the talk in the gaming industry about how terrible the company really is in the inside, how women are treated in the company, how people in general are treated at their company, how it's a dog-eat-dog world, and there's reportedly things like a cube crawls, and it's like a party all the time at the company. These things ultimately do build up, and then people go, well, I think that I could skip this game, or I could skip this expansion. Maybe I'll skip my monthly subscription to World of Warcraft for a month or two. Of course, there's always going to be very dedicated fans who come back for the newest map drop in Warzone and who support the newest expansion in World of Warcraft, but there are going to be people who go, you know what, I remember when all of these accusations came out about them, so I'm not going to support the newest expansion. I'm not going to re-up my subscription. And plus, you have to consider that it's not just controversy that is the problem with Blizzard, it's also content. Players are very, very disappointed with the content they've been releasing. There are a lot of people who are not happy with new games, with new maps, with new expansions, just feel like they're not listening to players, and that also doesn't help them. This article does go on to say Activision said Call of Duty Vanguard sold worse than Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and additionally, Warzone had lower engagement. Call of Duty Mobile, however, performed about as well as it did the year prior in regards to net booking. Total net bookings for the Call of Duty series across console and PC, however, declined. Despite Call of Duty declines, Activision said it continued to rapidly expand its development resources for the entire series during the first quarter of 2022. So they're basically saying, while we are expanding development and we're looking towards the future, yeah, right now it's down. Players aren't really coming back. Players aren't really interested in what we have to offer. And unfortunately, as someone who has loved Call of Duty for many, many years, I'm just not very impressed with Call of Duty right now. Unfortunately, for Activision, I have never been interested in Call of Duty Mobile, and I feel like most people aren't. Black Ops Cold War was okay. It also wasn't great in my opinion, but Call of Duty Vanguard fell off very quickly. I just felt like they didn't release new content. The content that was there didn't really keep players engaged. Unfortunately, when you release a new Call of Duty every single year and you don't expect to keep players around, you don't plan that new content, you don't say, okay, how can we actually keep players around this time? So of course those numbers are going to drop the first couple of months. They're higher, people are playing it, and then after like 3 or 4 months, people are bored of that content and people move on. Between this and the controversies, this could be a big reason why the sale to Microsoft went down. They knew they were looking at a huge loss, so in a way they were looking for an out, and Microsoft saw an opportunity with the IPs, and they took it, so Microsoft bought them. They're not a perfect company, and they don't have a perfect track record with games, but maybe they can do something with Blizzard and start a turnaround. So when you are pairing bad content with controversy, it's just not going to end up well for your company. And this is what Activision Blizzard is focused on, not making the best content possible, getting new fresh minds on projects, creating content, and listening to players. No. Activision Blizzard's new Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer to ensure diverse and inclusive perspectives in game design, storytelling, and more. This is what they're worried about. Hiring new chief diversity officers, making sure that all of their stories are diverse and inclusive and provide those perspectives. We want good gameplay. We want good stories. We are not worried about you hiring some new chief diversity officer to go around and say, this isn't good enough. You have to change that. You need to focus on making good gameplay, amazing maps, interesting ideas. But this is what Blizzard is worried about, and this is probably another giant reason why they're not doing so good. They're not keeping players around. Unfortunately, we have seen Blizzard go downhill. They are not the company they once were, and whenever we talk about Blizzard now, it's always negative. It's never positive. It's never about nostalgia. It's unfortunately just about what has Blizzard done now to enrage players of their games. And what have they done to make themselves look even worse? At the end of the day, right now, it's not looking very positive for Blizzard. They have lost over 60 million monthly active users in the past year. It might change. It might go back up next year, but only time will tell. And right now, I'm sure at Blizzard, they're freaking out a little bit over these numbers. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.